dear judges, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here today. Our topic is equality education. From our perspective, education is the whole foundation of the problem. Besides, inequality education has existed around the world for a long time, so we hope to raise the people's awareness of the importance of education. Before starting our presentation, I would like to ask everybody one question. Does everyone know what this number means to Taiwan? This is worldwide educating for the future index. Taiwan is placed at 17th. So are you really satisfied with this performance? For us, we think that Taiwan still has much room for improvement. So today we'll give you some advice that can help Taiwan to improve this kind of situation. Here is the outline for today's presentation. First, we'll talk about the current education problem in Taiwan. Second, we'll give the 2 global cases that we'll analyze. Then our action plan will be stated as well. Then we'll give you a brief conclusion. So, are you ready? Let's get started. In this picture, we can see that in Kaohsiung Laoyang Elementary School has advertised for job opening for several times, but it eventually cannot recruit enough teachers. As a result, the principal had no choice but to make a phone call personally to please the teacher come to their school to teach. However, Taiwan government has given them a series of welfare to attract teachers come to rural area to teach, such as renovate and rebuild their dormitories and give them a sum of compensation. But when they are unwilling to stay at rural area to teach, Jessica, could you give us a deeper elaboration?
Of course. We organize the problem into 2 main reasons. First, lack of teachers. According to the Ministry of Education, there are 30% of the schools are in countryside. However, there are only 12% of the teachers are in rural areas. Obviously, the teachers are not enough. Based on the opinion of the news, there are 2 reasons that cause this problem. First, multiple jobs. The schools in rural areas are usually small and don't have a lot of people. So the teachers will have multiple jobs to do. Not only do they have to teach at least 8 classes a day, they are also responsible for all of the paperwork. Second, social perception. I think this is the most important problem. Who do you want to be taught by? A teacher who is teaching in the city or a teacher who is teaching in a place that only a few people knows about? Most of the people prefer the schools which are well known. Second, unstable teachers. According to the Ministry of Education, as you can see from the chart, the teachers in rural areas are usually substitute teachers. And this leads to a high turnover rate because substitute teachers don't have a lot of insurance. So they wouldn't want to stay for a very long time. Due to this rate, the teachers in rural areas are usually young and inexperienced. Next, Jack is going to talk about the 2 cases that we have analyzed.
Here is a model of education, Barefoot College. It's a non-profit organization since 1972. They give the poor people in rural area knowledge instead of money. They teach them how to build a machine which can solve their problem. For instance, in Afghanistan, the people there didn't have a full electronic system. Therefore, Barefoot College brought 3 Afghanistan women to their place. After 6 months of training, they became solar engineer. The women went back and solar electrified their own village. According to FBC News, a well-known politician, Banyaka, said that Barefoot College is necessary, and it really does. They have told 2,200 people to build a machine, and 1 million of the rural poor will benefit from it. Their contributions spread to 96 countries in the world. They changed their life and their environment. The second case that we analyzed is project scope. This project is devoted by Ellis Company. Since 2010, they have 4 partner schools, and hundreds of rural students were participating in this project. Let me show their contributions. Ellis wants to borrow rural students' horizon, so they invite their crews and their teachers from around the world to be volunteers. Moreover, this project provides students abundant resources, like high-tech teaching material or English music. Besides, students always prefer to have vivid activity rather than tedious lessons. Hence, lessons are divided into 3 parts: music, art, and science. Take music class as an example. In music class, teacher will play some English music and teach students the vocabularies in the lyric. By doing so, they truly help to motivate student interest. Thanks to Ellis and the volunteers, the place they have held have become more energetic than before. Like Xiaoning Village, they were devastated by the typhoon Maracas, but after Elle's assistance, they can smile again. Unfortunately, there's a problem. After our careful analysis, we found that this project is not enough to learn in rural area. Projects can only conduct this activity for 1.5 months. Apparently, this is not enough for them. They may even feel frustrated when the project ends.
Yes, indeed. I was a volunteer teacher of Project Let's Go this year. From my perspective and what Jeff has mentioned, adults doesn't have enough time to accompany with the kids in the rural area. However, as a young adult, we can recruit the volunteer teachers from the college students who have the same passion on teaching like me. As a result, I propose our school and KUST can form our own educational volunteer team. First, all the students and professors who are interested in improving the quality of education are welcome to join us. We expect to have 300 volunteer teachers who have their own specializations in different fields. After having these teachers, we plan to send them to a rural school first and establish the online tutorial center, which can provide various classes with the students in the rural area. After finishing these steps, we will present our visions of helping the kids in the rural area to sponsors. By April 2020, close to 1.6 billion children are out of school. If Taiwan can start the plan first, more and more countries imitate what we have done for the kids in the rural area. I believe all these kids are able to make up their classes and motivate interest. By 2030, SDGs hope that no children will be left behind and every kid can have the equality of education. I do hope there will be lots of volunteer teachers around the world and it will definitely improve the quality of education. As we mentioned, some schools cannot find qualified teachers, such as Dong School. We and KUST can cooperate with the school. If the student there who want to learn how to make a mechanical arm, we can send a teacher who are majoring, can send a student who are majoring in mechanical engineering to be their teachers. Both of them can do it yourself through the service learning courses. They will learn quickly through the process.
I can tell everyone in this room cares about SDGs as much as we do. And at Little County, there are at least 30 people in this room. And all of you will be our priorities after we establish these plans. And the professors can provide your personal experiences on teaching to help us make this a better project. Teaching?
We can!
This is all for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Here comes the last team of today's competition.